it's quite difficult for an author to be in front of an audience, because if you choose writing, it is before, and I generalizing, 90% of the authors, they think that by writing, this is enough. But on the other side, I think that I need to show myself as a human being. Who is behind the book? Who is behind the book? The author. And what about the contradictions that this author has in his or her life? So who am I? I am a person that, at the very beginning of my life, I wanted to be a writer. At first, because I did not know why, but I just wanted to share something, like everybody, like every one of you, and because this is part of the human condition. We share. If we don't share, we don't exist. Even if you understand sharing by watching a sunset or watching snow, but if I'm here alone and I see this beautiful and cold Davos, I feel devastated. I feel down and out. But if I am in the train station downstairs, down there, you know, full of pollution, etc., but I have someone to share that moment, I'll be happy. My life will be fulfilled. So sharing is part of the human condition. I share, therefore I exist. And when I was 15, I thought, my God, writing is the way that I feel comfortable in sharing something. Of course, at that moment I did not elaborate on sharing. I just said, well, I have these people here, these boys and girls, they share, well, I need to tell them who I am. And so I start writing. I start writing poems first, and then I told to my parents, I want to be a writer, because by writing, I could connect to all these teenagers that I was part of. And then my father said, no, you can't be a writer. In Brazil, nobody can make a living out of writing. And then we started this clash, that it is a very important clash. This clash within your microcosmos, your parents and you. This sane, healthy rebellion that helps you to be prepared to the world. But this clash with my parents, my father wanted me to be an engineer, and he was an engineer, and we went to extremes. So one day, they were so desperate with this rebellious son who wants to be a writer that they said, nothing is working, you know? This blackmail by money or sentimental blackmail, whatever. So they put me in a mental institution. They said, nothing is going to control this rebellious person except psychiatric treatment. So they failed. So I was there. By the way, this is the theme of one of my books, Veronica Decides to Die, where I share with my readers my experience in the mental institution. Veronica decides to die. And then, I was there not only once, but 3 times, and at the end, I escaped the 3 times, of course, but at the end they said, okay, we can't control you, so we're going to support you, okay, we love you. They did that out of love, don't get me wrong, they were trying to help me. No hard feelings. I never had hard feelings as for James. So they said we're going to help Paulo, and we're going to support him because he's just an artist. An artist in Brazil is equal nothing. So they start helping me, but then again, my sister is a scientist. She was doing, the path that my parents expect me and her to do, but she did. And all of a sudden, I met a singer. And this singer and we start making songs. Being the most famous song of us, a song called Gita. But it's not in your number. It is based on Bhagavad Gita. And it was so popular because the Bhagavad Gita is not a book that Brazilians read. But I was in love, and I made this song, or the lyrics of this song. At the moment that Arjuna asks Krishna, "Who are you?" And Krishna answers. So, all of a sudden I start making money, and not making cents, I start making thousands of dollars. And my parents said, "What is going on?" Because our last sheep, he's making more money than his sister. And then I buy my first apartment, and then they relax, because from the moment that you can make money, you are saved, somehow like this. But still I was postponing my decision because my dream was to be a writer, not a songwriter. And it's so difficult when you are in front of your own destiny and you have to choose to follow it. And then you have to bear responsibility. You cannot you cannot blame your boss, you cannot blame your wife, you cannot blame your son, you cannot blame anybody for not fulfilling your destiny. This is your task in life. And only happened to me when I was 40. I'm 65 now. But when I was 40, I said, for all this past 30 years or 20 years, I was dreaming to be a writer, but I never dared to write a book. So, don't feel embarrassed. So I never dared to write a book. So I was a successful songwriter. I used to write for television. I used to write for this and that and that. I wrote books. So in 1986, I had my epiphany. I decided to quit everything. You cannot have a way out of your dream. You have to face your destiny and go ahead, not knowing that if you have a way out, you're going to fail. Like Cortez in America, he burned the ships.